Hey, Shalom, Shalom. This is Naaman with the Great Millstone Camp here in DC. All right, back for another video. First and foremost, call all Yahweh, Shem Yahushua, Shem Wadash, and of course, once again, double honors go out to the apostles, bishops, and elders of Great Millstone who rule well. Salutations also go out to the fellow Akim that are out there on the highways and byways. All right, pushing this truth, spreading it across the four corners of the earth, of course, aided by the numerous amounts of videos that go out on a daily, all right, to help edify those that are interested, all right, and we also do that for the fact that we're trying to wake up the remaining hopeful elect of our nation because time grows short, all right. And here's the copyright disclaimer under Section 107 of the Copyright Act of 1976. Allowance is made for fair use for purposes such as criticism, comment, news reporting, teaching, scholarship, and research. Fair use is a use permitted by copyright statutes that might otherwise be infringing. Non-profit, educational, or personal use tips the balance in favor of fair use. All right. So, what we have here, hey, as I've said in my earlier videos, hey, let's put these demons on blast. All right, let's bring out more of this so-called white-on-white crime. All right, let's put them on blast. All right, this is from Seiji Hito, The Second Coming. We have to stop this white-on-white crime. Of course, no, we don't, but that's just the way he's. It's sarcasm. All right, so here we go. Make sure the volume is right. All right.
Andover, North Carolina. The man was sentenced to prison after pleading guilty to charges involving the fentanyl death of an 83-year-old woman. Michael Tyler Britt, age 31, pled guilty on December 18th to death by distribution. According to court documents, Ruth Lawson was found unresponsive in her home on December 5th, 2024. Investigators found an empty bag that had contained fentanyl near her. Lawson was declared deceased due to fentanyl toxicity. The new Andover County Sheriff's Office Vice and Narcotics Division determined that Britt, who lived less than 300 feet from Lawson, sold her the narcotics that caused her death. He was sentenced to 7 to 9.5 years in prison. District Attorney Jason W. Smith stated this, quote, "Opioid addiction touches victims and families throughout the community. This case demonstrates the dangers of fentanyl at any age and the efforts of my office and law enforcement to hold individuals who contribute to these deaths accountable for these actions." Charlotte, North Carolina. An Oak Island man has been arrested and charged with murder, according to the Brunswick County Sheriff's Office. 31-year-old Joshua Cully Crook was charged for allegedly killing 21-year-old Gregory Seth Condry on December 20th at around 11 p.m. at his home on J Street in Charlotte. Is being held in Brunswick County Detention Center without bond. According to court records, his first court appearance is scheduled on Monday, December 22nd at 2 p.m. Dearborn, North Carolina. A Columbus County man is facing murder charges after a shooting that left one person dead on Sunday. According to arrest warrants, William Cody Inman was arrested for allegedly shooting into a home on Dooney Lane in Chadbourne on December 21st. Quote, "Upon arrival, deputies discovered a male victim who was unresponsive. Deputies immediately began life-saving measures, performing chest compressions and continuing those efforts until emergency medical personnel arrived. Despite the deputies' determined and sustained attempts to save him, the victim was pronounced deceased at the scene. He has been identified as David Ray Ivy Jr. A woman and a child were also inside the home at the time of the shooting, along with the victim.
He just shot into
the arrest warrant stated this. Inman is charged with felony first-degree murder, 2 felony counts of discharging a weapon into an occupied property. Inman is being held at the Columbus County Detention Center under no bond." Sheriff Rogers stated this, quote, "Our deputies responded immediately and did everything humanly possible to try and save the victim's life."
And I think the only reason that's the case, as far as no bond goes, is because this is one of these cases where the offense was so egregious that everybody was like, fuck this motherfucker, man. I mean, that happens sometimes. But yeah, no bond? Oh, okay. But see, this is the thing. How many of you heard about these so far? I mean, wherever Jake does something, you know, and we know. And, you know, this is the thing with going back, let's get that, when it comes to Jake, like we always say, they know who we are. And we now know who they are. So let's go here to Psalms. All right, 50. Let's go straight to the point. Let's see. All right. 19. I'm talking about these Edomites when it concerns our people. It says, Thou givest thy mouth to evil, and thy tongue frameth deceit. Thou sittest and speakest against thy brother, which is Jacob. Thou slanderest thine own mother's son. And this is, they can't get enough of Jake being the poster child for all the evils and wrongs in America. When in fact, that's far from the case. All right, but hey, you know, the scapegoat is, of course, when it comes to America, is Jake. You know, you got to put that black face in there to, you know, put it out there so we can hide the doings of all the pederast and all these other weird motherfuckers. All right, as long as you got that black face up there first, foremost at the forefront. And it's worked. It has worked to the point where people coming from across the oceans, you blacks, you black Americans, but see, here's what Jake did. As of late, as a collective, Jake just pulled back. Fuck all you motherfuckers. And look what's happening. Now they're feeling the full force, all right, of the people who they thought had their back, i.e. the so-called white man that told them all kinds of good shit about us. All right, so now you're getting to experience that love, that white love. Oh, don't you just love it? All right, thou sittest, verse 20, thou sittest and speakest against thy brother, thou slanderest thine own mother's son. All right. These things hast thou done, and I kept silence. Thou thoughtest that I was altogether such as one as thyself. I remember growing up seeing those old westerns, you know, cowboy and Indian, you know, movies and whatever have you. And I remember this old, I can't even remember which show it was. Now it's been so long, but this old Edomite woman, you know, as they were getting ready to fight. I can't remember which tribe it was, Comanche, Apache, whatever. And she said, God is on our side. They just know, all right, that, you know, they're in like Flint when it comes to the Most High, you know. And you are just not in the way that you think. And I think a lot of you are beginning to see that. I'm talking about these Edomites, these so self-professed white folks. All right. Because now, now I have to go back to what, what's his name? Oh my God, I can't believe I forgot the guy's name. Cornel West, Dr. Cornel West. As he used to frame it, he said, talking about white folks, so-called, he said, you've been niggerized. And that's exactly what's happened. All right? Because the thing you have to understand when it comes to Jake just has this ability. And for that, let's go to this one. This is another video. This is this AI from so-called AfroWire. This is Philip Scott, his channel. This is one of them. This is AI. But the title here is Why J. Edgar Hoover Said Black Unity was a national security threat, and it goes into Fred Hampton, Black Panthers, all the underhanded tactics that they used, because Jake was, and believe it or not, what it appeared to look like was bringing poor people together across the spectrum. They couldn't have that. So they drugged the guy. Well, they paid an informant to drug the guy. This is the FBI and Chicago police were in on it. And they went in there and they just slaughtered the guy. All kinds of, with other leaders. Quite a few of them sold out. But that's not the point of this video. The government was behind, stuff that just started out innocent. Like the feeding the children, all that was sabotaged, and it was Jake that they used to do it. Yeah, so going all the way back to the time of, I'm talking about the last 100 years, a little bit more, where they've used Jake. I'm thinking of Agent 800 here in D.C. He was a Jake that was on the police department here, MPD, the D.C. police. And he was an agent. Of course, they had to bring him from here instead of up in New York, so nobody they thought would know him. I forget the guy's name, but he was one of the ones that infiltrated Marcus Garvey's organization. I just know him by Agent 800. But yeah, you got that. You got a lot of that. That's why we got to get the fuck up out of here. Let's continue with this.
This is a heartbreaking loss for the family and the community. We will continue working diligently to ensure justice is served. Wilmington, North Carolina. A Wilmington man is facing multiple charges, including assault with a deadly weapon with the intent to kill, following an arrest by Wilmington Police Department. Elvin Sedith Busso, age 44, was arrested on Monday, December 22nd, according to court records. The charges against Busso include 2 felony counts of assault with a deadly weapon with the intent to kill, dischargement of a firearm within city limits, simple possession of a Scheduled 4 controlled substance, and possession of marijuana paraphernalia. Busso is scheduled for his first appearance hearing on January 15th at 11 a.m. The New Hanover County Courthouse. He is being held at the New Hanover County Jail under a secure $75,000 bond. Wilmington, North Carolina. A 40-year-old New Hanover County man was charged with 5 felony counts of third-degree SE of a minor.
What?
Stephen Edward Goodnight of Wilmington was arrested Wednesday.
Wouldn't you know? Sexual assault. Boy, that's like, let's see, 2019 FBI crime. I just bring this one up because this is the one by race. Let's get that. Because Jake really, when it comes to their own, let's see if this is the one. No, I need the, that's not it. Let's see if it's this one. 43A. I think that's the one I want. 43A, but that's a PDF, damn it. Let's see. Arresting crime by race. It is 43A, but let's see. 1995 through 2019. Let's see. Because they'll bring out, the 13% and causes 50% of, and that's so much bullshit. And god damn, it wants to download it. Let's see, crime in the U.S. 2019. I'm more familiar with this, but there are more. God dang it, they didn't do it again. That's not what I'm looking for. Let's see. Table 40. Let's try it. Is this PDF? Hold on. This is what I want. Let's see what this is. Yeah, this is what it was. 43A. All right. So they got Jake for let's see. Murder and non-negligent homicide. All right. So Jake has a slight edge here. I'm looking at the top, Black or African American, but that's mostly amongst ourselves. Now, when we get to rape, look at this: 4,427 versus 11,588. Robbery. Jake got the slight advantage there. Aggravated assault. Remember what he was charged with? It said sexual assault, though. 91,164 to, all right. 169,467. Burglary. They got us. Larceny, theft, motor vehicle theft, despite what you hear. Arson. Again, violent crime. 129,346 compared to 209,848 for what they do. Property crime, 231,087 versus 517,502 with them. Other assaults, again, more than double here. 219,400 compared to 455,901. Forgery and counterfeiting, 9,006, might as well say 670 to 21,537. Fraud, 24,041, 51,861. I guess that's to include. It says African American, but what I was thinking about here, of course, you got to be suspicious with these motherfuckers, but because I just have to take it on how it's listed here, that they're separating us from the other groups that could be confused as us, such as those of the Caribbean, Nigerian, Somalian, whatever have you, especially as of late. All right, again, this is 2019, so 6 years ago. Let's see, forgery, yeah, okay, fraud, embezzlement, stolen property. I mean, they lead in everything except the first couple to 3. Look at this, and yet all you hear is about Jake, and that's why I'm pulling this out. Weapons carrying, possession, and yet you had the, up in New York, it was big years ago, stop and frisk, prostitution. I'm not by no means absolving or an attempt to absolve Jake, because Jake is out of control. I'm just looking at the raw numbers here. All right, prostitution and commercialized vice. All right, they got us there. Sex offenses, except rape and prostitution. Damn, it's like 4 times. Drug abuse violations. Look at here. 274,670 versus 748,874. Another thing you have to consider with this, what about, and let me check, I'll have to go back up to the top. Distribution, total arrest, hold on. Total arrest, ethnicity. Look at this, the same thing, look. All right, still got us beat. But it doesn't take into account exonerations, things of that nature, all right? And that's the problem with these, all right, because it's even lower. Let's see. Gambling, offenses against the family and children, all right, got us. Driving under the influence, oh my goodness, 90,888 versus 526,928. Good Lord. Liquor laws, 17,077 versus 85,350. Drunkenness, look at this, 5 times. 32,255 versus 164,797. Good Lord. Disorderly conduct, vagrancy. All other offenses except traffic, 577,689 versus 1.5 million. suspicion. 257. I'm surprised at that one, actually. That's so low for Jake. Curfew and loitering law violations. Another surprise that I am. 3,155 versus 6,948. And again, this is 6 years ago. I'm just more familiar with this one. But yeah, you always hear this 13% causes 50%, and that's so misleading. And they do that on purpose. All right, that's what you have to be aware of. All right, let's go back to the video.
December 17th by New Hanover County Sheriff's Office. The charges stem from allegations that Goodnight possessed material containing visual representations of minors engaging in acts. Court documents detail 5 separate counts involving videos as well. Records indicate that the alleged offenses occurred on September 18th of 2024. According to a release from NHCSO, Goodnight was taken to the New Hanover County Detention Facility. A magistrate initially ordered Goodnight to be held without bond because of pending exploitation charges in Onslow County. He is currently being held under a secure $130,000 bond. This was stated by the Sheriff's Office. The New Hanover County Sheriff's Office works closely with partner agencies to investigate cyber tips as well as online crimes involving exploitation. The Sheriff's Office remains committed to protecting children and holding those who engage in exploitation of children accountable. Wilmington, North Carolina. A man is in custody after an altercation that led to a shooting on South College Road. 32-year-old David Gatto of Wilmington was arrested on Tuesday, December 16th after he reportedly shot a woman on the 4800 block of South College Road. Officials have stated that officers responded to the area just after 9:30 p.m. and were able to quickly identify and detain Gatto, who was called out of his apartment without incident. Investigators determined that Gatto was involved in an argument with another man in a parking lot, which police have stated escalated into a physical altercation at the front entryway of the apartment building, and Gatto reportedly pulled out a weapon from his waistband. Quote, as the dispute continued, a woman who heard the disturbance opened her apartment door. The suspect began fighting with another man over the firearm. During the altercation, Gatto struck the other person with the weapon. When the woman tried to intervene, a single shot struck her. She sustained non-life-threatening injuries and was taken to the hospital. Police also state that Gatto retreated into a neighboring apartment and closed the door. Investigators obtained and executed search warrants for the involved apartment and found a firearm magazine and the gun that was used. Gatto has been charged with assault with a deadly weapon with the intent to kill or inflict serious injury, assault with a deadly weapon, assault by pointing a gun, and possession of a firearm by a felon. He is currently being held without bond at the County Detention Center. New Hanover County, North Carolina. 2 men have been arrested and charged with allegedly trafficking methamphetamines in New Hanover County. According to New Hanover County Sheriff's Office, its Vice and Narcotics Unit arrested Christopher Dew, age 29, and Michael Boner, age 49, on multiple charges that included trafficking methamphetamines, conspiring to traffic methamphetamines, and other narcotic-related charges. Detectives began investigating Dew after receiving information that he was trafficking methamphetamines into the county. Quote, Dew and Boner were arrested on the trafficking stop where Dew and Boner transported approximately 106 grams of methamphetamines into New Hanover County. Dew had previous charges with trafficking methamphetamines back in June of 2025. Boner and Dew are currently being held on a $1.3 million secure bond. Kinston, North Carolina. A Wilmington man is in jail after officers say that they seized drugs during a traffic stop in Kinston. On Friday, just before
Remember,
9 p.m.,
I just read you the
police
FBI
officers
stats.
pulled over 30-year-old Wazim Ismail in the 1300 block of North Queen Street.
Let's see if I can pull up a more recent one. I didn't think about it beforehand, but let's see. Let's go 2023. FBI crime Stats. Let's see, by race. U.S. number of total arrests by race. Ethnicity for violent crimes. Arrest and crime. Let's see. Let us see what's... Because that's all anybody. When that fucking Charlie Kirk, all that shit, I just got so frustrated because I was like, all you guys had to do, but he knew who to do that to and who not, because there were a few times that he got embarrassed. Again, they know what they're doing for the most part, and they play these games with people. Because like I said, all you had to do is just pull up the FBI crime stats. He would have debunked all that. Just the raw numbers. Instead of playing that percentage bullshit that they like to do. Now, I don't know what the hell is. Let's see. I got a signal. What the hell is going on? Salakia. Let's try another one. Comparison of FBI arrest statistics by race. This is just for violent crime. I wanted everything. I want the, let's see, not just violent. I want everything. Because that's another thing that they'll play that game there too. And as you see in this video that you're watching, let's see, community relations service. Let's try this one. Let's see. I am not a robot. U.S. Department of Justice, if you say so. Come on now. Why is it taking... Let's take this off. Let's see. Come on, come on, come on, come on, come on. Let's refresh. Let's see what happens. So you want me to go through this? Okay. Here we go. Increase in hate crimes. So there was a slight raise by about 228, something like that. Hate crimes rooted in race, ethnicity, or ancestry remain the most common. There were 5,900 reported incidents in 2023. Anti-black or African-American incidents made up more than half of these incidents, 51.3%. Wow. And were more than 3 times higher than the next highest racial or ethnic category. All right, which brings up, again, this shit going on with, you know, those Israelis. And they really can't stand this stat, especially over here, because they want to be the center of attention so they can get all that money and all that attention, which, let's be honest, they have been getting because of stupid people and racist people. All right. Now here's another little trick they like to put: religion-based crimes, which they would fall under. There were almost 2,700 reported incidents based on religion. More than half of these, 1,832, were driven by anti-ish bias. Incidents involving anti-Muslim, 236. So you see, they play this game. Sentiments rose from last year, while anti-Sikh, you know, the ones with the turbans, you know, Elamites, incidents fell slightly compared to 2022. All right, that's hate crimes, but I had to do that because we're still number one. You're the one. I'll say we're the one. Whatever that song was back in the day. Let's see. Crime statistics by ethnicity. Let's see. Maybe it's DOJ. Let's see if it's this one. Nope. I should have went with number 2. I keep falling for it. Come on. Everybody knows what I like to use by now. Let's see. God dang it. I can't find it. Let's see. Let's see. Crime statistics. Let's try 2024. What the fuck? Let's see. Reported. Oh, there we go again. U.S. Commission on Civil Rights. Nope. Salakia, and I just looks like I'm not going to be able to pull that up for you, so I apologize. Let's continue on.
The traffic stop, officers state that they observed narcotics violations, which led them to search Ismail's car. Officers found and seized more than 66 pounds of prepackaged THC, 11 pounds of marijuana, drug paraphernalia, electronic devices, and more than $12,000 in cash.
Ooh.
Ismail was arrested and taken into Lenore County Jail. He was charged with the following: 2 counts of trafficking marijuana, possession with the intent to sell and deliver marijuana, possession of drug paraphernalia, money laundering, and traffic violations. He's also posted a $30,000 bond as of Saturday. Columbus County, North Carolina. 2 people in Columbus County were arrested after allegedly firing shots at deputies Tuesday night. According to arrest warrants, Dale Douglas Malpass and Sally Ann Hewitt were arrested Tuesday, December 2nd, after allegedly shooting at deputies from inside a home on Kelly's Plantation Road in Delco. Arrest warrants state that deputies were attempting to arrest Malpass on an outstanding warrant. Quote, upon arrival at Malpass's residence, detectives attempted to arrest him. During this attempt, a shot was fired from inside the residence. Detectives immediately secured the property and maintained containment until additional resources arrived, including units from Patrol Division and the Special Operations Team, or SWAT. Malpass has been charged with the following: 5 counts of assault on law enforcement officers with a firearm, 1 count of a felony discharging of a weapon into occupied property, 1 count of felony possession of a firearm by a felon, 1 count of misdemeanor resisting a public officer. Served with the outstanding order for arrest. Malpass was issued no bond. He is being held without bond. Hewitt has been charged with the following: 5 counts of assault on a law enforcement officer with a firearm, 1 count of felony discharging a weapon into occupied property, 1 count of misdemeanor resisting a public officer. She is being held under a $100,000 secured bond. Both Malpass and Hewitt are expected to appear in court December 3rd at 3 p.m. A man claiming to be at the same home where the shooting occurred called the news and stated that he asked for media coverage because police were attempting to break down the door to arrest him. He also stated that, quote, they're going to have to kill us in here before I leave. So the reason why you are able to see this video is to showcase the fact that within their own communities, they tend to do the utmost crimes. We've gone through quite a few crimes. We had, crimes against the family. You had crimes against police officers. Again, and these are the same folks that say that they love the police. Back the blue, thin blue line, all lives matter, white lives matter, right? They like to say all of those things, but yet they're out here ruining their own communities. You got people money laundering. You have people selling all different types of narcotics, some of which are so deadly that it has taken the lives of folks. And then you see them smiling directly in pictures. You see them in the mugshots not giving any type of a care at all. Even one of the instances where a man had, tons of drugs, narcotics directly in his vehicle.
That's what they always like to say about Jake, especially young Jake. Oh, he's showing no remorse. Look at him.
Vehicle. He was given a bond, and then he was able to then post $30K to bond directly out of jail. Again, you're dealing with somebody who is a drug dealer. he has the money, or he can get a loan or a line of money, credit, whatever you want to call it, in order to get himself directly out. Police didn't think about that. Why didn't you set that a little bit higher so that he's off of the streets, so
Yeah.
that he's not delivering these things to people in the community, causing them to have a type of addiction? Oh, that's right. They're not going to do that, because if they stop the dealer, then that means that their job, they're going to have less work, right? Because
There
the
you
drug
go.
dealer creates more work for the police, because now you have these addicts out here, and usually when you have addicts, people are going to do certain things or have
They're unnecessary
different types of
evil.
personalities, which is going to cause a certain type of disorder in the community, which then the police have to respond to. Like I said, this also again shows that, again, if it is a white man,
Especially when it comes time to justify asking for more money for the budget. Oh, we gotta have something to show for it now. This is the game that these motherfuckers be playing, man. You know.
male committing these crimes, pretty much very little to nothing is going to happen at all, and people are not going to take it as serious. And also that crime and police go hand in hand like Batman and the Joker. One cannot live without the other. They both serve the exact same purpose, right? And then you had other instances, again, like I said before, you had the crimes against families that taken place. There were actually more stories like that. I just chose not to specifically place all of those directly in here. But again, this is to further show that all of these faces here are not black. None of them are, to be exact. And all of these people here, who are all pretty much within the same realm of color, are doing whatever it is that they want to do in order to destroy their community and the people around it. But every single time you happen to hear the news, or you happen to hear other folks talking online, they always want to specifically fixate on Black Americans.
There you go.
As if Black Americans are going through, living next door, tearing up their community, shooting directly at their police officers, causing the ODing of anybody or their children or elders specifically in their community, deciding that they want to disseminate, different types of media, performing crimes against families and, different things of that sort. So yeah, they don't look black to me. But anyways, let me know what you guys think about this video and everything that I stated in the comment description below. And as always, peace, love, and stay tuned for the next video.
There you go. All right. So there you have it. Yeah, this is why Isaiah 51:14 says what it says: the captive exile, which we are, hasteneth that he may be loosed. Loose out of all this bullshit. This is a game to them. All right. This is one sick, twisted game. And as recently, Ann Coulter came out and told him point blank, hey, in so many words, we fucked over these people for so long, and you let these other people come over here, these immigrants, all right, eat up all the resources, and they have, and still, I wish I could have played that. I didn't think to bring it up beforehand, but she let it know on that panel during that interview, like, this is fucked up. Coming from Ann Coulter, think about that. And you had that old scrawny ass, what's his name, Robert Wright. He used to serve in the Clinton administration. All right, Secretary of Labor, I think he was. All right. Yeah, they got all the excuses, but the thing you got to remember, and this is why it's so funny to me, is because this country, you're suffering now like you never have, and it's all because of so-called white supremacy, in that the very people that you propped up, I'm talking about these Israelis, they are draining you fucking dry. That stat that came out about all the money that's been spent over the last 60 years, how many $1 trillion it was, and now they have old asshead Ben Shapiro, and there was another asshole on there. I forget the show that it was. It might have been what's the Young Turks? What's that? Some of us think she's a Jake. Um, what is her name? But she came out and told them both. Said no, the reason because they were saying, well, Social Security, you know, and the thing is that they push for a higher age limit. So where I think it's 70. And these people on here, these two pro-Israelis, you got Ben Shapiro and this other asshole. And Ben Shapiro was saying, there's no way you should be able to retire at 65 because guess what? That money that's generated, guess who it's going to? And she told him that, and you people sold out in large part due to your ignorance. You hate us so much, and your very own people are taking advantage of you. This was beautiful to see. As far as I'm concerned, it's beautiful. It's division, all right, on all levels, as was prophesied. This is beautiful. Mark chapter 3, verses 24 on down. All right, because what's the things that you've done, it's coming back on you now. Yeah. There's also Obadiah about the Confederates. How they laid let's get that real quick. Oh, yeah. See these scriptures, yeah. Yeah, it's all in here. It's, in here. I think it's verse 7 or 8. Edom, and that's who we're dealing with, will be humbled. And this is what's happening. Let's see. Here it is, verse 7. All the men of thy confederacy have brought thee even to the border. The men that were at peace with thee have deceived thee and prevailed against thee. They that eat thy bread have laid a wound unto thee. There is none understanding in him. They've got you by and you see them, just walking through the streets, you see these motherfuckers are miserable, man. And so, it's a beautiful thing to see. All right, beautiful thing to see. Again, Sirach or Ecclesiasticus, chapter 25, verse 7. There be 9 things that let's close with that. I think I did that with my last video, but I'll continue to do so because it's relevant. This is Sirach chapter 25, verse 7. There be 9 things which I have judged in mine heart to be happy, and the 10th I will utter with my tongue. A man that has joy of his children, which you really can't have here. Enjoy them, whilst you can, but I'm not going to go there. And he that liveth to see the fall of his enemy. All right. And he that liveth to see the fall of his enemy. You can't enjoy your children like you want because of assholes like were within this video. You've got them folks walking and running around. All right. And the world, well, I should say, there's a lack of coverage on that as it should be. Especially when it comes to our people. You're so quick to let your children hang around on pieces of shit like that. All right, a man that hath joy of his children, and he that liveth to see the fall of his enemy. And this is what we're seeing now. They are spiraling down, out of control. All right, you're going to see a civil war here. All right, you've got this new this anti-AIPAC lobby that's just started up. All right. Yeah. It's getting ready to get very interesting here. 2026, looking forward it to be a very, very interesting and tumultuous year. So with that, once again, I'd like to remind everybody to remain circumspect out there and pay attention. Keep your eyes and ears open. All right. Especially when you're around them folks. And hey, don't discount your own. All right. So with that, hey, until the next video, hey, shalom.